Hello everyone, and now welcome to Game 1 in a series between Zhouxixi and LawLiet. LawLiet spawning as the yellow Night Elf player here on Ancient Isle on the bottom right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, on the top left, we see Zhouxixi spawning as the red Night Elf. It will be a Night Elf versus Night Elf mirror match as things do get underway. Demon Hunter coming in from Zhouxixi. Meanwhile, LawLiet also opening up with a Demon Hunter. No big surprise there, as we are now slowing things down to the one-time speed in order to do a bit more, a bit more casting. All right, nice job there. Demon Hunter actually finishing off that Wisp, which does come as a surprise. Normally a detonation would have been in order. Instead, that did not happen. Demon Hunter now picking up Claws of Attack +6 and trying to take out this Null Warden in a very, very forward position here, as the Null Wardens have not really seriously taken any damage. All right, Ancient of War maybe get off 2, maybe 3 hits there. One more shot there, and it's now most likely going to back off, eat some trees, as that Archer will finish it off. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter already making its way down over. Should be able to get to level 2 here in just a moment. No level 2 just quite yet. There you go. There's that level 2, as that Null Warden has fallen down on the opposite end of the field. Level 2 for LawLiet, level 2 for Zhouxixi. Both sides picking up some early items there. You can take a look across over here. Both sides getting Claws of Attack +6. So a bit of a surprise there, but so far, it is going to be a true mirror match, with both sides looking at 22/30 supply compared to 25/30. A slight difference there. All right, Archer is going to be able to get in some shots onto that Wisp. Not quite sure why it isn't going for that. That should actually be an easy kill for that Wisp off over there. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter is still trying to finish this off over here. You can see that the Archer is going to get in some easy shots as a mana burn does go down. Triple Archer is now showing up to the party as well. LawLiet will perhaps be able to finish off this Archer. Archer has taken some significant damage short of the Demon Hunter making its way back in. And oh, there is the path. Beautifully done. But now 2 Archers are still pretty much in trouble, as they are still on the run there. All right, Archer is going to be able to head back off to the north. Let's take a look at the tech grades. About 40%, 50% for LawLiet. So LawLiet pretty much ahead by a little bit across the board, as the Archers are still trying to run back here. All right, Archer down to 65 hit points, still in a bit of a run, as it looks as though the Archer will not be able to survive, will end up falling right there. There it goes. LawLiet able to chase down that target there. All right, Archer's now fighting back here. Demon Hunter taking in a little bit of damage here. You cannot allow this to happen. Shadow Meld now coming in, just because you do not want to drain those Moonwells on very, very low amounts of hit points. All right, also you can see that the Archer is now going to be fighting back here. Another Shadow Meld there, and what may end up becoming a problem is you can see that the Demon Hunter is now in a very, very strange spot. Are we going to see a Shadow Meld? No. I would have expected that Archer to stand right there and Shadow Meld, preventing the Demon Hunter from being able to get out, short of trying to use a Scroll of Town portal. All right, a little bit more tax now coming across the board. 21/40 supply, 400 gold in the bank. LawLiet with 29/40 with 600 gold in the bank. Slight discrepancy because of the Boots of Speed and Dust of Appearance, as we'll see whether or not LawLiet's investment at the shop will be worth it. All right, in comes the attack. LawLiet bringing over a large army of Archers, and that Naga Sea Witch going to be bringing down the hurt here. Big problem, though. Demon Hunter relatively low on hit points, as you can see that the Ancient of War will end up falling. All right, are we going to see perhaps a bit of a turnaround there? No, we are not. Demon Hunter still low on hit points. No Staff of Preservation, Staff of Teleportation trickery will allow the Demon Hunter to continue this push, as the Naga Sea Witch is normally a tier 2 early pushing type of unit. Now, you can see that the Naga Sea Witch is back over here. Zhouxixi perhaps doing this as a little bit more of a defensive measure. Demon Hunter does have the Boots of Speed, has not transferred it over to the Naga Sea Witch. That is normally given over. Also, we could see the Claws of Attack +6 given over as well. All right, in comes the fight. Damage now being thrown about. Here's the Demon Hunter down to 91, 51 hit points. There it goes. No Scroll of Town portal. LawLiet now in serious trouble, as you can see that the Naga Sea Witch gonna perhaps be able to get off a number of easy kills, perhaps take down an Archer or 2. That Archer looks like it will get taken down, going after 2 Archers, and now Zhouxixi is coming back over the top to try and finish off another unit or 2 there. Let's take a look. That Archer has taken a bit of damage, and it looks as though the Demon Hunter should be able to get that man a sheep, now slowing down another Naga Sea Witch arrow from lobbing. as the Demon Hunter now retreating back once more. All right, Demon Hunter here was resurrected at the tavern. A bit of a mistake by LawLiet. Will he be able to recover? It felt as though he had an early game advantage short of losing that one particular unit. And now Zhouxixi, who is relatively low on supply still, 25 over 50, compared to his opponent's 32 over 40. And you can also see more Dryads and that second Ancient of Lore already coming into play. Only one Ancient of Lore visible coming in from Zhouxixi. There's that Ancient of Wonders in the back. And I'm wondering where the gold for Zhouxixi is really going. It doesn't look like it's being spent on units, and you can take a look. There's a Staff of Preservation that is currently sitting on that Demon Hunter for some perhaps early getaways. All right, let's go ahead and make for a little bit of a push here. You can see a lot of poison damage coming across. Are they actually going to be taking that damage? There is some mana burns now coming in. LawLiet going to be in trouble once more, but does have a Ring of Regeneration. Now turning around, firing back. Archers taking a lot of damage there, and here we go. There is the engagement, and is it going to end up falling? Scroll of Town Portal, Staff of Preservation was not used, and Zhouxixi this time around taking a lot more damage than I would have expected. All right, both sides not playing flawless Warcraft at all. Both sides losing heroes, just cause for alarm, cause for concern continuously. As we now see the Demon Hunter back here, Ring of Regeneration. Now coming back across LawLiet, what is he going to be doing next? He should be able to tank a lot of that damage up in that front lines. It does make sense that the attack speed is on the Demon Hunter since he does, attack in those front lines. You can see Zhouxixi now getting up to level 2, not using those cold arrows obviously there, as the Demon Hunter has taken quite a bit of damage, but seems to be okay for now. All right, Demon Hunter just shy of level 3 now. May end up trying to clear up this 3-1 creep camp just for that extra bit of level, extra bit of hit points, extra bit of mana. There's a rejuvenation coming in from the bears as well, as LawLiet is getting ready for his, I guess, next push here. All right. Demon Hunter picking up an Orb of Venom. Will he make it back over in time to get a little bit of that experience? I do believe so. There it is. Level 3 now on the Demon Hunter, and LawLiet is going to be able to move into the next portion of this game in a very, very strong position. You can take a look. Wand of Illusion has been dropped there. Forest Troll Berserkers. Wand of Illusion now dropped for the Zhouxixi, which Demon Hunter will get to level 3 right off over here. Meanwhile, LawLiet is clearing out a much more difficult creep camp and has picked up a Health Stone. All right, Health Stone now on that hero there. Very, very nice pickup. The Ring of Regeneration was sold, so even though I personally like Rings of Regeneration, it does take up a very, very vital key slot there. But the longer your fights go and the more hit points you have on your Demon Hunter, the more valuable that one particular item is, just because a hit point or passive hit point regeneration does do very, very well with high armor. All right, Staff of Preservation now given to the Zhouxixi. No Staff of Teleportation on the Demon Hunter, though, so we're not going to be seeing that oh-so-common trick that so many Night Elf players like to do. Book of the Dead, often known as Book of Wind, has been picked up as well by the Demon Hunter, as we may be looking at the Zhouxixi trying to finish off this Red Drake here. All right, pulling back. Not quite sure why you would just aggro if you were not planning to actually engage and fight, and there you have it. There is the engagement there. Demon Hunter does have Orb of Venom, and the Orb of Venom is really taking a toll onto that one Red Drake. That Red Drake taking a fair bit of damage. You can see that damage over time does add up relatively quickly. That Demon Hunter is now, Demon Hunter should be able to finish this off without a problem whatsoever. There it goes, dropping True Shot Aura, which will most likely be given to that Zhouxixi once more. True Shot Aura going to really help out with those Dryads and that Archer and that Zhouxixi as well. Any 10% bonus damage Robe of Magi now picked up by the Zhouxixi, so there's a little bit extra damage as well, in addition to a Tome of Agility. Level 4, level 3, both sides now opting to creep out their neck of the woods. Level 2 only for Zhouxixi's Zhouxixi. Big surprise that there isn't a bigger effort to try and get to level 3. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on over here. A very, very gung-ho Archer up in those front lines. True Shot Aura, where is it? I thought where is that Demon Hunter? The Demon Hunter is right there. It looks like the True Shot Aura was sold. Yeah, True Shot Aura was sold there. Naga Sea Witch now using the Scroll of Town Portal to get out of a very, very sticky situation. The Scroll of Town Portal does teleport everyone back home as we now see 5 bears on the army of LawLiet. Both sides getting those bears, dryads, everything now ready to go. Not quite sure why the bears are not in druid form. Druid form, you do regenerate or gather more mana significantly. There's a rejuvenation now onto that demon hunter once again. Naga Sea Witch now sitting up at level 3. Perhaps Zhouxixi noticed the level discrepancy and did not want to engage against, starting off with a lower fight here. Naga Sea Witch now picking up that Tome of Intelligence plus 1 additional damage. 33 to 43 damage on an intelligence-based hero, which is kind of deceptive just because the Naga Sea Witch does really focus on that basic attack a lot more. Demon Hunter has an invisibility potion already ready to go. You can take a look around here. Perhaps you can get that first mana burn off. You can see that the Goblin Zeppelin is overhead. Bears could perhaps try and drop down, but it looks like Zhouxixi is pretty much expecting this, moving the units all the way to the back here. And what actually could be interesting is if this Demon Hunter positions himself right there, he could have found a way to actually block off his opponent from being able to get inside his own base to try and defend. That would have been rather curious there, as the Demon Hunter now doing a little bit of soloing by himself to get to level 4 and catch up in terms of experience. All right, here's the engagement. There's the bears. Everything's now ready to go. And you can see that the Ancient of Lores are even joining in on the attack. Wand of Illusions. Zhouxixi's bears have taken a fair bit of damage, and Zhouxixi is going to lose his Naga Sea Witch and a bear already, and another bear looks like it was going to get taken down as well. All right, home field advantage not meaning very much, especially when the Demon Hunter is not there as well. So far, these fights are not going well, as we now see a Book of the Dead finally being used. No detonation possible. Goblin Zeppelin now needs to get shot down, and we see the importance of a Goblin Zeppelin as well. As you can see, Staff of Preservation quickly, instantaneously teleports him home, and then LawLiet, using a Staff of Preservation, teleports this back home. A beautiful use of double Staff of Preservation to make sure that LawLiet's what seemed to be an all-in tactic was just so well calculated. You can take a look. 44 over 60 supply compared to 40 over 60. The level difference, however, should be pretty much more apparent. Almost level 5 on the Demon Hunter. Naga Sea Witch sitting at level 4 compared to a dead Naga Sea Witch here coming in from Zhouxixi. Now, the big issue is that from a Goblin Zeppelin, you do unload all of your units one at a time. Perhaps Zhouxixi got a little bit greedy in trying to get to level 4 prior to that next engagement. If that Demon Hunter was down there, it would have been in a much better spot, but that was obviously not the case. Demon Hunter now heading back. There is a rejuvenation. Bears now ready to go. Ancient of Lore down over here. We are going to be going into a fight. Naga Sea Witch should be ready here in just a moment. Ancient of Lore has taken a fair bit of damage, and that is not worth saving. You do not want to position yourself in this spot right now. You are upside down, you're in low upkeep already, as the Bears now ready to engage, and here we go. There's the mana burn. There's the engagement. There is the fork lightning coming across, as both sides are going to continue this fight here. All right, Naga Sea Witch going to try to get into position. Bears are going to be taking a lot of damage. Zeppelin should be able to pick them up. Oh, it might be a rejuvenation, and yes, it is going to be a rejuvenation right there, as the Naga Sea Witch does snipe one down. All right, LawLiet does purposefully use that Scroll of Town Portal. Will Bear get shot down? Yes, it will. Bear down before that Scroll of Town Portal does free up things. All right, one Druid of the Claw back over here, kind of stuck, I believe. Yes, Ancient of Wonders will be picking up so that one Druid of the Claw will be able to make its way back out. You can see both sides really using the Druids of the Claws very effectively. I've once heard it said that Druids of the Claw are pretty much level 3 paladins. Pretty effective in their hit points, high damage if you have them upgraded, and also are able to heal units over time. And that is just really why these bears are so powerful. They are rather expensive, though. Not expensive as a paladin, but then again, paladins do get a potion of invulnerability every so often for free, for some mana. Zhouxixi looks like he's going to be returning the favor with an invisible demon hunter as well. He's going to be able to spot this army. And what is going to be happening next? What is he going to do? He can't really do all that much. LawLiet, however, only sitting at level 4 right now. And for right now, things are fairly even. Level 4 versus level 4, level 3. Tome of Strength being picked up by LawLiet. And just because of that, I am rooting for LawLiet as, well, Zhouxixi doesn't read his books. All right, let's make a look at what's happening here. 6 Druids of the Claw, 1 Dryad. And compared to an army off over here to the side, you can see, 6 Druids of the Claw, 2 Dryads. And we are going to be going into an engagement right here. What's happening? There is the Demon Hunter, and it looks as though they're just not ready for this fight, for this engagement. There is a couple of illusionary bears already down. Staff of Preservation could be used. There goes one. And so far, Staff of Preservation used pretty effectively. Demon Hunter now going after the Zhouxixi. Zhouxixi in a little bit of trouble as the Demon Hunter is, quote-unquote, behind enemy lines. This Druid of the Claw perhaps needs to rejuvenate himself, and as we can see, just both sides doing a lot of damage back and forth. That one Druid of the Claw down to 94 hit points. Is it going to be able to get anywhere in time? That is the big question. There's a mana burn, and down it goes, unable to really survive. I do believe if you transform right there, you actually generate a bit of hit points, and that may have actually saved him, even though he would have stood still for just a second. Demon Hunter now sitting at level 5. There's a mana burn, and Zhouxixi now trying to get ahead of his opponent. Boots of Speed versus no Boots of Speed, but the Demon Hunter is still hanging off to the north, and it will jump into a Zeppelin here, and there it goes. Meanwhile, Zhouxixi over here, very low on life. You can see one Ancient of War off over here as well. No expansion, as Zhouxixi may try to do a bit of a push here. Let's take a look at it. Supply, 58 over 60 supply compared to 50 over 80. A lot of healing will be needed. And right now is the time for Zhouxixi to heal up and then immediately start going. If he waits too long, these bears will just be far too strong. They will have their mana back. The Zhouxixi will be strong and in force again. As you can take a look, everyone is healing back up here. All right, let's take a look at this. Goblin Zeppelin carrying a very low hit point unit. Oh, Abolish Magics from the Kobold Geomancer, I'm actually not sure if it was the Geomancer or perhaps the No Wardens there, getting the Abolish Magics and preventing any more heals. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. These bears are upgraded 2-1 compared to 2-1. Both sides still very much even as we're taking a look at this fight here. All right, mana burn from LawLiet. There is a Scroll of Protection, a little bit of extra damage prevention right there, and that may be enough. Focus Fire, all you need to do is now pull back. There's that Scroll of Healing, and just pretty much offsetting everything, and LawLiet is now pretty much in trouble. He is going to be losing another bear. Zhouxixi now sitting at level 4. Demon Hunter able to teleport back. Now Demon Hunter Zhouxixi sitting at level 5. Dryads are now falling. I see a whole bunch of red bears, not that many yellow bears, and that is pretty much going to be it. The Demon Hunter and the units cannot drop down. 31 over 80 supply. Zhouxixi could take his time here. Rejuvenation onto the Demon Hunter here. Let's take a look. There is going to be a little bit of an engagement. No Staff of Preservation coming in. There goes one bear. And a Zhouxixi and bears, dryads, everything is just trying to fall back here. You do not want to end up into that position all single file line like as this one bear will. Oh, wow. Staff of Preservation saving them again as we are now looking at the Demon Hunter now looking to pull back. All right, not enough dryads to really attack with range as the bears are still engaging back and forth. All right, let's take a look at this. Demon Hunter doing a great job continuing this fight off over here. Another bear looks like it could get taken down off to the north. Yellow Demon Hunter does not look like it will make it, and the Zeppelin is going to get shot down there. There's the GG as you have a dizzied Zhouxixi. Extremely close game. Hero score finally telling the score right there. Zhouxixi getting that last Demon Hunter kill, got a little bit more experience, and with LawLiet about to lose his second hero, there's the game. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, hope you guys enjoyed Game 1. Please stay tuned for Game 2.